And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is the final Autumn Nations match of the weekend, and I think it's going to be a bit of a goodie. I'm really hoping it's going to be a bit of a goodie because the Scotland side has been a little bit disappointing so far in the Autumn Nations series. However, Finn Russell is back, and they've never beaten the All Blacks. And whilst this is not the best Scottish side I think we've ever seen, it's definitely not the best All Black side I've ever seen. I think if there was ever an All Black side that could potentially, lose a match against Scotland, it'd probably be this one if Scotland were playing to the best of their abilities, which they're not really. But hopefully we will see a Scottish side that come out and actually go and have a go here. You've got nothing to lose, really, nothing to lose. You're in your home crowd, a year out from the World Cup. You're playing against the New Zealand side, which are inconsistent, because look, they do have their days, and I think it'll be silly to suggest that this is a terrible New Zealand side, but they're an inconsistent New Zealand side, if we're being brutally honest. And yeah, so I think that if Scotland were to really pitch up today and pull out a worldy performance, they could probably do it. They could probably get the job done, but it will be a very big task for them, and don't really expect it to happen. But hey, we're all in for an upset, aren't we? We saw Italy beat Australia yesterday, which I don't think was as big of an upset as a lot of other people thought. But still a massive result in their history, and this could be the first time ever Scotland were to beat New Zealand if it were to happen. So yeah, for somebody like Jamie Ritchie, who's captaining Scotland this summer for the first time, or winter rather, in over there, a huge moment for him, and a couple of, as I said, quite a lot of narratives being building up. So yeah, we've got a poll running in the comments. Go and vote for who you're going to win. Also, you can win you guys some free bets. If you'd like to win a free bet, then go and predict the score in the comments at the bottom there. And we will give you guys some free bets. We gave out a lot of free bets yesterday. Ireland versus France. A lot of those winners will be getting emails the next day confirming their how much they won in their free bets, as long as they've got bet codes or accounts, and those will also be loaded. So hopefully these guys can go and get all their free bets sorted. So yeah, there's a link in the description. I'm going to put it in once again. And if you'd like a free bet, then go and give us your score prediction over there. And Finn Russell with a bit of a smirk on his face. He's been brought in. He's been brought straight into the starting lineup here. A couple of we were out quite early because there's a couple of pre-match things happening with it being Poppy Day, stuff like that. So we've got the full marching band out there, got the bagpipes happening. But as I said, I really enjoy the Autumn Nations series part because of all the stops they pull out in terms of the occasion. The full bands, the big flags. It really is a very, very cool time of the year to play rugby, and actually looks like very decent playing conditions over in Scotland. So whilst all these still going on, we're going to look at the two teams. We look at Scotland. At the front row is Piers Kuhlman. Fraser Brown comes to the side. And next to Xander Ferguson. Richie Gray, Grant Gilkes on the second row. A loose trio of Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson, and Matt Ferguson. Addy Price does partner Finn Russell. Duan van der Merwe in the 11 jersey. Darcy Graham in the 14. Stuart Hogg in the 15. A centre combination of Sierra Tupolotu and Chris Harris. Very good defensively as Chris Harris. Off the bench for the Scots, it is Ewan Ashram, Rory Sutherland, Via Pennell, Johnny Gray, Jack Dempsey, Ben White, Blair Kinghorn, and Mark Bennett. If we look at the All Blacks for today, it's Ethan de Groot, Samasoni Takawau, Nepolo Lala in the front row, Sam Whitelock, Scott Barron in the second row, Kirawani, Dalton Papali'i, and Artie Severe in the loose chair. Finley Christie does start next to Bowden Barrett, who's back at 10. Caleb Clark in the 11, Jody Mark Tellier on debut in the 14, Geordie Barrett at 15. David Havides next to Anton Leonard Brown, who comes back into the starting line for the first time this year. And meanwhile, I see the Barbarians are losing to the All Blacks select 15. That kickoff was about 15 minutes ago. So pity that. I mean, I don't know why we have to establish the only two rugby matches of today at the same time. It's ludicrous. But yeah, big. So some of the sort of the big battles today for me, obviously, Finn Russell versus Bone Barrett will be a very interesting one. I think the front row will be quite interesting, and I think Piers Kuhlman's going to be someone who's really, really going to have a go at Nepal. I think the centre combinations, David Avili up against Tony Topolatu, Chris Harris against Anton Leonard-Brown. Anton Leonard-Brown's a very good player, and I think the All Blacks are much better for him in this side. But Chris Harris, very competent defensive outside centre, so hopefully he will have a bit of a good game today and really shut down that centre channel for New Zealanders. Here's to the comments there. I see Albie's here, I see Alfred Lingett's here. I would say that All Blacks' only weakness is the new centre pair. How was the cricket? Yeah, thankfully it rained, so I didn't actually have to play. Otherwise, I would have been very much a zombie on the field this morning after my 2 hours of sleep. Rusty Rasmus keeping me up, keeping me working hard. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Lots of stuff to talk about, and we'll talk about it a lot in the week to come. But right now, we're just going to be focusing on this match right here. We are at Murrayfield, and it looks like a pretty big occasion there as well. Why is the Wi-Fi not working? Finley Christie, interested to see how he goes today. Did we go to the bench? I don't think we did go to the bench. The bench for New Zealand is Cody Taylor, George Bauer, Fletcher Newell, Tupo Vive, Shannon Frizzell, TJ Perinara, Stephen Perafita, and Rico Wani. So it's a very strong bench. If things do start going wrong for the All Blacks, they very much can turn to some of their very big names in the likes of Rico Wani, TJ Perinara, Cody Taylor, Shannon Frizzell. So there's plenty of experience that can come on if things do start going badly. But I think Ian Foster very much wanted to see what some of the other players can do. Handing the likes of Finley Christie a start, Mark Tellier, he's been around the squad a lot, hasn't really had an opportunity to play just yet, so he gets an opportunity today. Now we're going to hear a rousing rendition of Flower Scotland. I mean, I reckon a Flower Scotland could be it's maybe like the Welsh anthem. Like, I feel like you're mentally definitely 3-0 up as you want to start a game after this kind of atmosphere and this kind of experience. Finn Russell, the man everybody's talking about, was left out of the squad earlier in the Autumn Nations series. Missed the first 2 games. The first one for Scotland was outside the test window, so wasn't actually available for selection. But then was still not called up. However, after Hastings picked up an injury, he's been drafted into the squad and drafted immediately into the front row starting lineup. So yeah, and again, he's one of those players. He's probably not consistently done enough at international level to be considered world class, but he's got the ability to be world class. He's always got a world class performance in him. So yeah, I mean, if he pulls out one of those performances today, it'll go a long way towards Scotland getting the job done. Scotland playing in a purple kit today. I actually quite like it. I need to get myself a few shirts. I actually haven't got a. Scotland's about the only other rugby jersey I've ever owned. Somebody got it for me when they went to Scotland. I don't really want to get an All Blacks one, but I'll happily get a Scotland jersey. I reckon I can get a Welsh jersey. I enjoy an Azuri jersey, actually. I think it'd be quite cool. So here we go with the haka. TJ Perinara back in the All Blacks setup. No Aaron Smith today, which is an interesting call. But I mean, TJ Perinara, what a world class player to be. I mean, the fact that he wasn't being involved for a while is quite hectic. Right, so at the moment our poll's got 75% people saying New Zealand are going to take the win, 24% saying Scotland, 42 votes so far. As the comes to an end, and yeah, final look at the starting lineup. Big game headed for Brown up in the starting lineup there. Plenty of experience though, Fraser Brown, 33 years old. Has got quite a few test caps to his name. This will be his 56th match for his national side. It's a very good backline. I do really like the Scottish backline. The question is, though, can their forwards give them a platform? And then once again, after that, it's this pack that they need to nullify. They can get into the New Zealand pack. They can get stuck into the New Zealand pack and let that Scotland backline go. I think it'll be quite interesting. As I said, if Finn Russell starts pulling the strings, starts playing well, and it would be very Finn Russell, wouldn't it be, to be left out in the dark, to sort of everybody sitting there saying what's going to happen to him, and then bang, he comes back, does the business. I think it's going to be tight. New Zealand to win by 27 plus points. I would say it's almost likely they're punished 2.5 going to Japan. Obviously, I'm never voting for New Zealand regardless, fair enough. And Scotland get to win, it will be the biggest upset of the autumn series. Yeah, fair shout, fair shout. Italy versus Australia is also probably a big one. Final words there from the captain of Scotland. A couple of smiles on the face. Couple of pre-match formalities, and then we'll be good to go here. Very likable character, Jamie Rich. You must admit, I actually quite enjoy him as captain. I think that he's an interesting selection, an interesting choice, especially given who they got. And I mean, you got Stuart Hogg, who's captain there many a time. There's plenty of options for them, but I'm enjoying Jamie Ritchie. I think he's an inspired choice. I think he's someone who really, I think a team can get behind. Again, very hard worker, but subtle as a leader, not usually the most vocal, but quite a heart in the sleeve type player from what we've seen them doing the Autumn Nation series. And I think that's sort of the type of leader every now and again you need. You need that person that's just willing to do the hard jobs, willing to get stuck in, and to really sort of, put your money where your mouth is. Really, right. New Zealand will be kicking off. Looks like we're playing left to right. Burton Barrett with ball in hand. All three Barretts on display today. Geordie back at full back, not at inside centre, which a lot of people have really enjoying seeing him there. The whistle does go. And we go off to the left. A reminder, if you're trying to watch this game, a big shout out to our partners, ExpressVPN, who are helping us power the Autumn Nation series. The guide to watch the match is in the description. Good take there. Ali Price going to Hamish Watson. Ali Price going back to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg does find touch, and a decent touch find as well. It's a good exit so far from Scotland. Stuart Hogg, he was very upset with all the comments about his hair a week ago. So actually took to Instagram to have a go at supporters saying, of all the things to criticize me for, why are we going after my hair? Which, to be fair, I can understand. It's quite a weird thing. You rock up, you go and play rugby for your country. You're one of the best players in your rugby in your country's history, and it's just popping in about your hair. It is a very weird thing. First, it's a good line for the All Blacks first up. We're only more funny a few meters as well. Now going on a bit of a run, so Scotland need to try and find a way to stop this. It is being presented to Finley Christie. Havili is there as a runner. It goes to Havili. Well, it's a cross kick towards Tellier, but it's behind him. And his first debut, he sits down to, hands off Stuart Hogg. It's eventually brought down by Duran van der Merwe. And Stuart Hogg conceding a penalty as well. Well, that's not a particularly good start from Stuart Hogg, and maybe the hair's the least of his worries after that start, because he's just been handed off by Mark Tellier, and then gets to the breakdown and concedes a penalty. But that's a pretty good start. If in terms of touches, first touches for your All Black career, I think Mark Taylor will be pretty happy with that one. He's just handed off the Scotland number 15, and they are going to kick to the corner as well. Right, Takawa, this is a position where he scored a lot of tries. It's a messy line out there. Penalty advantage for the All Blacks. Takawa goes himself, pick up and go. Is he over? Yeah, he's over. I mean, really, really, that is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Well, it's Barrett who's actually come up with it. Yeah, it's Takawa who's just scored the try, yeah. Break a few tackles, hands over the ball. Yeah, Richie's got to do better than that. They've got it. I mean, really. But Takawa scores again. I mean, what a stormy season. I mean, I reckon probably very much in the mold for World Breakley Player of the Year. An absolute storm of a year so far. Tongan ball, inevitably. And Geordie Barrett with kicking duties as expected. With no Richie Mwanga on the side. Has a pretty simple effort first up to try and get his personal tally for the game going. And does split the poles straight down the middle. No issues there for Geordie Barrett. The worst possible start for Scotland. They concede early. Right, restart. They go short. Duran van der Merwe gets there to try and make it interesting. Finley Christie has lost the ball forwards. Turnover ball here. Addy Price goes to Grant Gilchrist. To Hamish Watson. Hamish Watson comes back to the inside. It's a really good carry by Hamish Watson. And Scotland now into the 22. Pierce Skuma now. Goes to Finn Russell. Stupolotu. This is a nice return here from Scotland. Looking good. You're inside the 22. Addy Price, quick ball going to... I think that's Ferguson. It's a strong carry by him as well. Now Finn Russell. Popping up to Grant Gilchrist on the angle there. But Papali'i in a very good position. Uncontested. Wins the breakdown there. Wins a penalty. Good continuity there from Scotland, but very poor work of the breakdown. Just nobody there. Bit of a messy line out there, but Scotland do actually turn it over, so it's good work there. Not a good line for New Zealand now. Taylor Ferguson, strong carry from him. Ball's available for Eddie Price, but slow ball. Finn Russell. And that's Ferguson, another Ferguson there. It's strong carry by him. But Sevilla, who's got like two players on him, has just gone and picked that up as well. I mean, really, that is dreadful breakdown work by Scotland. Ball retention, really poor from the Scots. Now New Zealand looking to counter-attack a while, finds himself in the wide channels. Finney Christie opting to go down the short side as well. Barrett decides to chip ahead. And it's to Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark. Stuart Hogg's around, but he comes across. Darcy Graham comes across to make a good tackle. And gets over the ball. Penalty advantage, though, for not releasing. Now Ethan de Groot, first receiver, goes to Bowden Barrett. Sorry, it's Jordan Barrett. Cross kick for Tellier. On debut. Oh, my. This could be a very long day for Scotland. New Zealand are over again. Mark Tellier, within 7 minutes, has got a try on debut. And it all comes back from the really poor work at the breakdown. And Jordy Barrett splits the poles. 14-0. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Another short restart, but this time New Zealand doing well to so New Zealand with ball. I mean, it's not even 10 minutes yet, people. This is flipping ridiculous, you know. And all I wanted to see was Scotland upset. Ah! The back of a late night, a Bok loss, all the drama. I was like, Scotland are going to put me in a good mood, but no, no. Now the ball's been ripped from Stuart Hogg, and it's a penalty, and it's a knock-on advantage. No advantage. We will have a scrum, first scrum of the day. Right, first scrum, big moment, chap. It is a New Zealand attacking scrum. Well, I won't say attacking. I suppose it isn't. It's New Zealand's attacking scrum for most places in the park. And ironically, when they beat Wales, for example, last weekend, they didn't actually do. The ball comes straight over the top there, and Eddie Price wasn't very awake there. Mark Taylor being used as the big ball carrier there. Eddie Price is desperately hanging on to that ball, trying to rip it, but they now have to release it. So Taylor making good meters, a good start from him. Now Barrett in the midfield there. Christie going up to Ethan de Groot. So far, New Zealand very much bullying Scotland, always making meters. Now it's a penalty. So I might leave with with 4 arms, so a penalty there. Good line out. Finn Russell in the midfield. Out towards Ferguson. Now Tupolatu putting his head down. Gonna work through contact. Eddie Price. Inside ball to Stuart Hogg. That's a nice bit of variation. Stuart Hogg chip over the top. Has he got the pace? Has he got the pace? Stuart Hogg's gonna go over. Oh no, he's gonna take out. That's gotta be a penalty try. That could very well be a penalty try. Surely he's been taken off the ball there, Mr. Ref. Well, Stuart Hogg, he's been pretty shambolic defensively, but that's the Stuart Hogg we know. And he looked like first of all, massive in-goal area lines at Murrayfield definitely played to his advantage, but I reckon he's scoring this if he doesn't get taken out. I think we're looking at penalty try and yellow card territory here. Has to be. Has to be. This is brilliant by him. And look at the pace. Look at the pace as well. And he's going. I mean, the ball does move away, but as he's turning, it makes the hit. Oh, come on, Mr. Yeah, has to be a yellow card and penalty try. It's a penalty try, yeah, chaps. Yep, 13 penalty try. There we go. Well, there we go. They needed to hit back, and they did. I mean, and the fact that, I mean, they probably didn't even need the rooming TMO for that. I mean, this doesn't get much more blatant of a penalty try. It's a brilliant line, by the way. Touch it over the top. Also, I mean, shout out for the pace. It's not, I mean, that's not a hard one. The fact that we actually had to go and shake it upstairs, even. Stuart Hogg, right. Well, to be fair, all the great Stuart Hogg's moments come with a celebration and a try, stuff like that. He is a player that when he gets going, just sort of rides off the energy. So let's hope that we now see, after a pretty poor start, a proper Stuart Hogg performance. Because he's a very fun player to watch when he does play well. It's a good restart from Scott, and that's a bit better carry. And again, you know, this pack needs to stand up. Now, Finn Russell puts that high in the air. It's not gone particularly far, so it'll be very contestable. Darcy Graham gets underneath it. Ball forced to Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark is brought down by Finn Russell. Turnover ball here. Nepalua Lala running into Pierre Skuman and Jenny Ritchie. Now, Barrett's seeing a bit of space in the top. There is nobody back there. So Darcy Graham is retreating. Does get back there well. Inside ball goes to Stuart Hogg. He's got plenty of time to find his clearance. Doesn't find touch. Goes down the throat of Bowden Barrett. Barrett lifts it high in the air. Darcy Graham. So Stuart Hogg, it falls to Darcy Graham. Pick up and go. It's good work there by the wing. Now, space out wide. Space out wide. Tupolatu. Bring in Chris Harris. So it's Duan van der Merwe, actually. Duan van der Merwe is breaking through. Oh, that's the ankle tap gets through. Looking for the offload, just Duan van der Merwe. But Papali'i, that is a sensational turnover. Goodness me, that is proper from Dalton Papali'i. I mean, now all of a sudden the All Blacks into counter. Oh no, they're throwing it straight to Darcy Graham. Has he got the pace? He gets away from Caleb Clark. Oh, he squared up Jordy Barrett. This is amazing. Well, Scotland, who were 14-0 down after 8 minutes, are 12 points to 14. Game on. Goodness me. Hello, and 14 men down here for New Zealand. So the kick to come. I mean, it looked like the counter-attack was all on here. And Havili going, bang, straight into the arms. A good pickup. Darcy Graham, and he does very well. Gets away from one, bang, squares up Geordie Barrett, then goes around the outside, says thank you very much. Goes over. Game on. Right, Matthew Dixon saying, told you it was going to be tight. I mean, that's just stupid, but yeah, 100%. I just say All Blacks need midfield as their weakness. Well, they need to have a midfield for it to be a weakness. Dante saying it's only easy when the other side can't defend. Well, it could be in for a high-scoring game here so far. And after the honourment of signs against Scotland, Finn Russell is kicking to level things. It's a good looking kick as well. No issues off the tee there from Finn Russell. Bang. It's a really good, it's a top class finish from Darcy Graham. Because despite the interception, he had a lot to do. He had to get away from Caleb Clark, who had almost reeled him in. Proper finish that. And he seems to have lost the scrum cap. Mate, can you make up your mind? Deep restart goes to the hands of John van der Merwe. We had a nice break earlier. Dr. Pavali is lurking. He's already won 2 turnovers today. Now Hamish Watson. Creating a better angle here for Ali Price. Ali Price looking for the box kick, one would imagine. Was he going to go back to Finn Russell in the pocket? No, he does go himself. Off his left boot. Duan van der Merwe is chasing hard. This just stays in. Duan van der Merwe is trying to bundle him and does bundle him out. That's really good. All of a sudden, momentum seems to have changed a little bit here. Really pinpoint kick that from Ali Price. Right up against the touchline. Geordie Barrett has to take it, but just inside. Duan van der Merwe chases hard, managing to bundle the number 15 out. All of a sudden, after a terrible first 8 minutes, Scotland all of a sudden look up for this. And Scotland want to do something today. They're going to have to try and make this 14-man, this one-man advantage count. They've got 5 minutes. They already scored 8 try with a man down for New Zealand. If they can try and score a second, it's a good line take there. Ball comes to Ali Price, to Chris Harris, the first receiver, to Tupolatu, to Finn Russell. Finn Russell to Hogg. Hogg decides to go to the boot. And he's chasing it down. And Geordie Barrett shrugged him off, but now Hamish Watson, and he's bundled him in. This is brilliant from Scotland. Really nice little work there off the back of the lineup there. They kick him behind into the space. Good chase from Stuart Hogg. Doesn't make the initial tackle, but does allow Hamish Watson the time to get there, and he then completes the job here. Nice little wrap around there from... And then bang, Geordie Barrett's been turned, and that ball is heading towards 22. Would have been 22 as well if he hadn't taken it, so... On the slide, Geordie Barrett up, bang. Does manage to throw Stuart Hogg down. But that gives, yeah, and Hamish Watson gets nice and low. Bundles him into touch. Says, thank you very much. Scotland line out inside the 22. What can they cook up from here? Well, we have a break and play here. I think Hamish Watson's getting a bit of treatment. Right, so what can, as I said, I'm just saying that they need to make the one-man advantage count. They've still got 4 minutes of the yellow card here to do with the All Blacks. So if New Zealand can go, looks like a replacement here. Dempsey's getting ready. So I think Hamish Watson could be going for an HIA. That's not what they want to see. And he'll come on. So Hamish Watson, it's HIA, so he might still be able to come on. Good take in the front of the line out. That's a really good carry as well by Tupolotu. Quick ball needed here. Eddie Price goes to Ferguson. Scotland knocking. Eddie Price goes to his captain, Jamie Ritchie. Jamie Ritchie's turning. He's just short. Oh, I think that's very harsh. He's been penalised for rolling. I'm not so sure. Well, it's good momentum there, and that's a big moment of the year. Let's see. So he goes down. And he falls the wrong way. So then he turns to try and place, and that's what the penalty's for. Looking to contest the line up. All Blacks are setting up more. Moore has come to a stop here. Finley Chris is going to have to use this here. I mean, they're completely split across here. This has to be, I was about to say, that has to be with truck and trailer. Obstruction is truck and trailer is what they used to call it. It is obstruction. Turnover ball, it will be. That was bizarre. I mean, things just stopped happening and people kind of look at each other like, and now what do we do now? So it will be turnover ball. We will have a scrum here. Still down to 14 men here are New Zealand, missing Antonina Brown, who gifted Scotland a penalty try, as well as obviously spending 10 minutes in the bin. Scotland have capitalised that. They have brought themselves level. Was a bit of a catalyst. The possession in the last 10 minutes has been 73% Scotland, 27% New Zealand. So New Zealand really struggling with that man in the bin. The question is, can Scotland make them pay just before Leonard Brown does make his way back to the park in about 90 seconds' time? So pretty much one more passage of play before you will see the 13 who's back into the lineup for New Zealand. And so both teams going wider through the middle. Actually, a bit of both, to be honest. New Zealand are looking to go a bit more wide than they did last week. We'll have a reset scrum here. Scotland looking pretty innovative. We've seen a couple of wraparound moves, we've seen a couple of nice attacking patterns. Another reset here. Scrum's going down. Right, come on, surely we can get a scrum going here. Free kick here, A Price taking it quickly. Goes to Tupolotu. Tupolotu goes to Finn Russell. Finn Russell goes to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg goes to Stuart van der Merwe out on the channel. Come back inside. Stuart van der Merwe gets away from Telia. Gets away from Papali'i. Going very lateral. Needs to come straight. Needs to. And a penalty. The breakdown work has been shambolic from Scotland. Their ball retention has been really, really poor. Once again, they're decent bit of attacking intent. They're doing van der Merwe very much just drifting inside. Needs to straight and needs to try and be a bit more direct, I think. But then gets isolated. And it's pretty much a free go there from Kirawani. He gets over the ball and says, thank you very much for taking a penalty. I mean, that must be about the fourth breakdown penalty. Now, this Havili's down. He's lost a butcher. But welcome, Loa here, who's the latest member of the Fair Sports Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. If you guys would like to become a member of the Members Club, it is the link is in the description. A big shout out to all our supporters who are helping us carry this channel on and keep going with this. Right, so 15 on 15. All Blacks back to a full contingent after Antonina Brown rejoins the park after his 10 minutes in the bin now. Burton Barrett, and probably a good time now for All Blacks just to sort of settle down a little bit. Kind of regroup. I mean, they were off to an absolute cracker of a start, but since then, Ireland have grown back into the game nicely, and All Blacks just need to sort of calm things down, go back to the basics. For Scotland, I think they want to keep up the pace, actually, which is a bit strange. You often see All Black sides really trying to up the tempo here, but Havili's down, and we're having to have all sorts of repair. Can we just get this going here? I mean, come on, he's putting a boot on. Takawaho finds his captain Whitelock. Burton Barrett putting up to Havili in the midfield there. And now Kirawani. Proper breakdown work down on the All Blacks here. And they're getting very good. Christie, a bit of a slow wall there for the first time in a while. Sam Whitelock to Barrett. Barrett popping it up to Takawaho, who's done well to hold on to that. Now Whitelock working their way back towards the left-hand side. Nepalua, a lot from a standing start. Now Burton Barrett slightly back, brings it at Lichtenstein. The air clock is chasing. This will be a tester for Stuart Hogg. Brilliantly taken by Stuart Hogg. Well, after being sat down by Telia earlier on, he's really grown into this game. Turnover ball here now, Pierre Skuman. Solid tackle made by him, by Kirawani. Ali Price being under a lot of pressure at the breakdown there. Papali'i now, making a menace of himself like he has all game. And now Finn Russell back in the pocket. We'll look to just clear this. That's a decent clearance as well. Decent work there by Scotland. A lot of pressure there, but doing well to... Like a while now. Hamish Watson. There we go. That's a bit better. Hamish Watson back on the park. Or was it Richie? No, it is Jamie Ritchie. It's very difficult to know, but I don't think Hamish Watson's back with the pass. Jamie Ritchie, the captain, getting his arms in there over the ball. They're winning the first breakdown penalty for Scotland. That could be a big moment, actually. Good tackle there, and bang, Jamie Ritchie's. I mean, that's really good work being done by him. Scotland into New Zealand territory. Need a good line out here. Ball over the top too, Ritchie. That's a good pick up there from Stuart van der Merwe. It was a nice work, nice move. There's a nice idea. Stuart van der Merwe just having to reach down there, getting a bit of momentum. Finn Russell under a lot of pressure, and Bowden Barrett does get it offload away to Ferguson. Needs a bit of support here. Comes in the form of Richie Gray. Harry Price going to Pierce Schoeman. Pierce Schoeman popping it up to Dempsey onto the park for Hamish Watson. Now Finn Russell. Finn Russell giving it flat to Fraser Brown now. Right up against touchline here. And a penalty against New Zealand for not rolling. Right, Finn Russell's right up against touchline, so can't really manage to get too much distance here. But this is good work here from Scotland. Having said that's a nice kick from Finn Russell up towards the 22, just outside. Yeah, Finn Russell, that nice start to the game so far. He's kicked well for T. And I think the biggest difference between Finn Russell is that he's a proper attacking fly half, in that if you're going to get a pass from Finn Russell, it's either very flat and putting you on the front foot. It's either sort of floated one, which either way, it's going to get you going. He's either looking to put you around the defender, he's looking to put you flat into the defense. You know, he really wants to get over the advantage line with his distribution. Now, a maul that looks pretty well set here for Scotland. They are peeling off to the right, and they've got a penalty advantage as well. So Hazel Brown controlling things. Now they're calling for it in the midfield. Wrap around there. Long pass there from Finn Russell. Stuart Hogg coming onto it. Stuart Hogg popping it up. Oh my living. If he's gotten this, this could be one of the best tries and finishes of the year. If Darcy Graham has scored this, no ways he scored this. No ways has he scored this. If he has, this would be unbelievable. I'm not gonna have a look. Oh, have a look, man. He's in. Yeah, he's out there. Just out. It was almost a phenomenal finish. That would have been spectacular. Anyway, they will go back for penalty. So really good work this from Scotland, who are on the front door here. And knocking. They're going to go for the corner, I think, as well. I think they feel a bit of momentum here. Oh, that would have been a good finish. Right, they're on the 5 meter, and they had a good running more as well. Yao says, Scotland by 3 points. Albie says, Duran has no idea how to use the size. Either just big and weak or relatively using size and strength. Yeah, I want to be a bit more direct. He's a big... Oh, actually, I thought it was a terrible line, but it's a fantastically worked line, and I thought it was actually gone through his head. Now, big more defense that's coming from the All Blacks. Good work here. They need to get that ball out to Ali Price. I don't think this ball's coming out, you know. There it is. Ball is available for Scotland. Real Chris now pick up and go. Scotland 5 meters out. Oh, they're just short. Are they going to be able to recycle this? Offside penalty advantage. Kicking behind. That's going to run too far. No advantage. Offside. Decision time here for Scotland. They can take the 3. It's right by. I would go for the for the corner here. It's test match rugby, so you should take the 3. It was a good option there from Finn Russell. Just the kick was far too heavy. They are going to take the 3. It's not a bad decision. As I said, it's test match rugby, so you do take the 3. However, you are playing against the All Blacks. All Blacks tend to deal in tries. So, must have been a temptation to go to the corner, ride the momentum they've got, and try and just sort of, keep themselves well ahead. I mean, for example, you score a try and get yourself 7 points ahead, then 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. But he just chips it over there to Finn Russell, and Scotland do take the lead for the first time in the match. What a last 20 minutes it has been for Scotland. They almost looked out of it after the first 10 minutes. But a really good break this from Stuart Hogg, who's in the mood. Good offload as well. Almost a phenomenal finish from Darcy Graham. Just an inch on the line. Right, restart from Bowden Barrett, pretty deep. Trying to find him over underneath it. And back to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg's going to bring out the torpedo of his. That's a brilliant kick. That is an absolutely brilliant kick. Long ball there. Spider King out of the way here. Big rolling ball coming in here for New Zealand, and it's pretty well set. So Scotland have got to work hard to try and stop this as they progress 10 meters. They're still going here, are New Zealand. They use it. Finley Christie goes to Havili. Havili goes to Bowden Barrett, wrapping around. Pops it up to Tellier. Stuart Hogg read it. Sorry, Chris Harris read it well. Christie, rushed to face it, decides to go back on the inside to Sam Whitelock. Now Takawao. Now Kirawani. Ball comes loose. Tellier's under a bit of pressure here. Finn Ali Price is brushed away. Penalty advantage, I think. Lillard, try to work out his penalty advantage, or if it's knock-on advantage from the rip there. Kirawani right against touchline here. Antonina Brown. No advantage. It was penalty advantage. They will go back for the penalty. Oh, sorry. It was a knock-on advantage. So they are going to go back for the scrum. Somebody stayed down here, though. I'll tell you, though. I mean, the strength of him just throws Ali Price to what side. Right, so while we have a break, remember that you can win a free bet if you go and predict the score. The link is the pinned comment over there. It's also in the description. Go and give us your score predictions, and we will be giving you guys some free bets. And yeah, also big shout out to ExpressVPN, who are helping us power the stream. If you're looking to watch the match, check the description. Go and get yourself ExpressVPN. Go and get yourself an Amazon Prime 30-day free trial, and you can go and watch all this action for what could be an absolute thriller of an encounter. 7 minutes left of the first half. Scotland lead by 3 points after being 14-0 down after just 8 minutes. A really good comeback here from the Scots. The question is, can they last the full 80? Will New Zealand come back? It all starts with the scrum. New Zealand got quite a long way to work with on the left-hand side there. Finley breaks, pops it up to Havili. Is brought down by Finn Russell. Now Artie Severe looking to try and hold him up. De Groot at scrum off, and Kirwani going to Bowden Barrett. There's a lot of players scrambling here. Big tackle needed. A big moment there from Stuart Hogg to make that tackle. Caleb Clark almost getting loose though. Now Barrett. Popping up Takawao, who's carried strongly so far in this half. Very, very good leg drive. A lot of support coming in from his captain as well. Rich was told to release that. RCV comes back on the angle, trying to find a bit of space. Now Finley Christie Kirwani to Bowden Barrett. Bowden Barrett to Caleb Clark. Caleb Clark is sat down one, brought down by Stuart Hogg. Finley Christie goes himself. Not sure was the right option, and he's just isolated. Caleb Clark now trying to power through. This is a bit messy. A lot of pressure here from Scotland. Now the All Blacks trying to establish a bit of a shape here. The ball's gone loose there from Finley Christie. Was it a knock-on? Knock-on from New Zealand. It is a knock-on. Look what it means to Stuart Hogg. He's really up for it. I mean, how can you not enjoy Stuart Hogg when he's playing like this? When he gets riled up, when he gets into the game, he's such a passionate player. And he's such a good player. It looks like Blake King will be coming on. I think Darcy Graham's going to have to leave for a bit of a blood bin there. Right, Darcy Graham's strapped all up, and he looks good to continue. Made 3 carries so far, 59 meters, 4 tackle breaks, and a line break. Not the biggest player in the world is Darcy Graham. A hell of a finisher, a hell of a rugby player. So Blake King was being ready. I think he'll be putting that tracksuit back on. So this is a big scrum here from Scotland. There's 5 minutes left in the half. They're right in their 5 meters, so they really need to be able to make sure that they've got a good platform here. And Finn Russell needs to find a very, or probably Stuart Hogg actually, needs to find a very good clearance. A reset here. Couple of resets so far. I hate reset scrums. I hate it. I spend far too much of my life watching reset scrums. It needs to change. And a penalty at scrum time for Scotland. That's a big moment. Ali Price celebrates. Takawao was not happy with that, having a word with the referee. But the referee saying, no, standing by his convictions. And I think it's on the tight, on the loose side for New Zealand. I think it is De Groot who's been penalised. So Finn Russell does find touch. Yeah, it was De Groot. I don't think he had too many arguments there. I think he knew he actually had stuffed it up a little bit. Advantage for Scotland as well, taking out the player. Ferguson coming away with it. It's a bit of a free roll of the dice. Right, what can Finland do? Chips over the top. Into the space there. It's well. Oh, it's. Geordie Barry came away with it, so we'll go back for the penalty. I mean, it's so well played. It's literally in the middle of the three all-back players. You're all converging. Obviously, who had money on Scotland ahead at half time? Certainly not me, I must admit. I would say, can Scotland hold the lead at half time? Well, that's the question, isn't it? At the moment, look, there's 2 minutes to go, so they'll be able to kick themselves into All Blacks territory. And then, for me, just try and find a penalty. Try and find an extra 3 points. Right, Scotland inside All Blacks territory into the last minute of the first half. Bit of a messy line-out, but Scotland do retain it. It's a strong carry as well. Dempsey it is. Quick ball to from Price to Pierce Kuhlman. A strong carry as well from the loose head. Now back on the angle. Yeah, going Finn Russell. Running the hands here. Good hands. Jamie Ritchie spins into the tackle. Up towards the 22. Now Ferguson, big tight head. Grant Gilchrist. Pumping those legs. Artie Severe. Now ball over the top. 1-on-1 here from Joe van der Merwe. He's just short. Ball's there. Well, Ferguson didn't expect that. It's a really good take by the Titan in the end. They're on the brink here, Scotland. Grant Gilchrist. They're just a few meters out. Pierce Kuhlman goes himself. Just short. Just short. They want to try and recycle this. Stuart Hoggs occupies space on the left. Finn Russell also monitoring it, having a couple of words there. Oh my. Holding on against Scotland. That's butchered. That's butchered. That is a butchered try, that. Sam Watchalong, I think the one who got his hands in there, but that really is a butchered try. All that momentum. They had scored on the brink on the half time there. They would have gotten at least 23, if not 25 points to 14. But Scotland will go into half time with the momentum and with the lead. I think probably more importantly, I don't think too many people expected that. But what a match so far. Really enjoyable. Half time, Scotland 17, New Zealand 14. Go and get your beverages. If you guys are on the lagers, go and get your lagers. Go to the bathroom. Go and get yourself sorted for what could be an absolute thriller of a second half. Because if Scotland maintain the lead, they will beat New Zealand for the first time in their history. Don't go away. We'll see you now. Right, and we are back. Hello, everybody, and are we ready for what could be a pretty historic second half? If Scotland can come and do what they've never done before, and that is beat New Zealand for the first time. I think it's 18 times they played. Two draws are the best that the Scottish have ever mustered. They've never beaten this side. So, could this be the day? Could this be the day? Well, the poll has had 308 votes. 71% people said New Zealand were going to win. But, and to be honest, they started like a house on fire. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, 14-0 after 8 minutes. Scotland win at the races. They were punished early, and we thought, oh, sure, but here we go. Could be a long day in the office. However, Scotland came back, penalty try, down to 14 minutes, scored another try, and they've actually probably been the better side for about half an hour of the match. So the question is, can they continue it up? And somebody like Stuart Hogg, for example, looks like he's going to do one of the. I mean, it looks like this could be one of those Stuart Hogg matches. And if it is, anything's possible. But Mark Tellier, try on debut, under a lot of pressure at the restart. They're coming from Duran van der Merwe, so it's a nice start from Scotland. Finlay Christie pops it up to Samasori Takawawu, scored a try, done a lot of ball carrying as well. Nepulolala now. All Blacks hitting a couple of phases here just to try and create a bit of angle for Finlay Christie. Most, I thought this game was over in the first quarter. Come on, Scotland, 100%. Thankfully, no cricket this morning. It was rained out. Thanks for asking. So hopefully we'll try again next week. And yeah, I was in no condition to cricket this morning. I got to bed at 4 in the morning after all. Yeah, doing for him. This is a better run from him. You see him drift a lot, quite a lot, but not really always make meters. But now there we go. Finn Russell to Chris Harris. Chris Harris, not too many options. Comes on the inside, runs to Dalton Papali'i. Ali Price. It's a really good tackle there from Artie Severe. Ball is available for Ali Price, though. Finn Russell shoots the ball out to Duran van der Merwe. Steps on the inside. I mean, he barely looks like he's doing right. Just put your head down, mate. Pierre Schoeman. Full of running as always. Ali Price now going to Finn Russell. Finn Russell behind to Chris Harris. Chris Harris to Darcy Graham. There's a penalty advantage. Darcy Graham coming back on the angle. He is reeled in by Darcy Papali'i. He falls right in front of Artie Severe, so we will go for the penalty. And I think this could be 20 points to 14. Pretty much bang in front of the poles. So Finn Russell will have a shot at goal here. But this is the perfect start. This is what they needed. It's raining here too, but cold. Yeah, it's not been warm today, to be fair. I said that. It looks like the sun can come out, so we might even have a nice warm South African evening tonight. You never know. And then right in front, you do expect Finn Russell to have no issues with this whatsoever. He's kicked well off the tee. He's played very well today, actually. And as expected, straight over the poles he goes. Got to get the first points, and that's the thing that they needed to do in the first half was to get second half was to get the first points. Now that 6 point advantage. Now you're going to keep that scoreboard ticking. You've now got to build scoreboard pressure. Expect this All Black side to score points. Expect them to score a try. But make sure you keep that scoreboard ticking. Darcy Graham, almost a high tackle. Yeah, there's a high tackle there. He did pull out of it, but still is high. Kick on the top from Ali Price will be reeled in, so they'll go back for the penalty. And All Blacks discipline really letting them down here. That's now a free exit for Scotland. Just steps on the outside here, and Artisivia just going up. He does release him as soon as he does go up, so fair play to Artisivia. Can't really not like an Artisivia, can you? First of all, absolute world-class player, but he's just a nice oak. He's just a nice bloke at the end of the day. They go to the front of the line, not good work on it there. Finn Russell goes pretty flat. Good tackle there. Artisivia is lurking, but it's very good work by Tupolatu. Now Stuart Hogg goes to the boot there, and the Caleb Clark underneath it. Right, now Caleb Clark doesn't often kick, will look to run, and does. So turnover ball now, Epalua Lala. All Blacks still inside their own half. And the ball's popped up, and it's been stolen by Scotland. Really good work. Now Richie. Hogg. Yeah, it's a good decision, actually. It's a good decision. He puts his hand up. I don't think it's a bad decision at all. Just puts the kick in behind there. Pins them back to 22. And Stuart Hogg and Finn Russell pulling a few strings here. Pulling a few strings. And New Zealand, well, they've got to start playing in the right areas. As some very good players look on. TJ Perrin on the bench, but Brody Retallick not involved today. Aaron Smith not involved today. Remember, there is an All Blacks 15 currently taking on the Barbarians, actually, over in London at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Well, Severe carrying the midfield there. Strong, strong. I mean, his work rate is unbelievable. And he's got an advantage as well, I think, for a high tackle. High tackle. I mean, Artis Severe is immense. He's unmatched. So Artis Severe, and he is always that player. As soon as things go down, as soon as things look a bit sketchy, he often puts his hand up and says, "Don't worry, chaps, I'll pull us out of here." So New Zealand do find a touch on the halfway line. And New Zealand will hopefully be able to try and get a bit of field possession. They've had very little territory inside Scottish half since those sort of opening 10 minutes where they went bang bang very early. But since then, the home side have been pretty good. Scott Whitelock goes up, almost looked a little skew, comes back on the inside. Takawawa once again asked to carry. Kirawani and Jamie Ritchie will win another breakdown penalty. He's really stood up with the breakdown there as Jamie Ritchie. That's about his third turnover. There's nobody in there, so that'll probably be the easiest of the one. I mean, there's just nobody there. He goes over and he basically, I mean, he could have turned it over. He could have grabbed it, but he just grabs it and it just stays there and waits for somebody to go and hit him. So he's so isolated, just nobody there. See, Artis Severe gets taken out by the tackler. Artis Severe, a bit sore after that. Looks like he will be okay to continue. Scotland fine touch just inside the 22. Right, two new front rowers coming on for New Zealand. So George Bower and Fletcher Newell will come on pretty shortly, looks like it. And Nepalua Lard and Ethan de Groot probably in the last few minutes of the game. But now another opportunity for Scotland on the 22 here. They'll look to try and, as I said, a penalty it will be a very nice result here. Finn Russ kicking so well off the tee. Get yourself another 3 points. Go back and restart. They go over the top to Tupolotu. Now Gilchrist, who's been very industrious with the ball carrying. Pierce Skuman. Big hit on Skuman, but working hard in the tackle. Now, hands here. Oh, Stuart Hogg is just short. He's looking for the offload. Andy Price is also just short. Oh, my living. And they can't remain patient, and they've won a breakdown penalty here, the All Blacks. Stuart Hogg was almost through, and just patience, Oaks, patience. Stuart Hogg was looking for the offload, just needed to set up another ruck, I reckon, and they could have gone over. Just the patience not there for Scotland. Well, they don't fight touch here, do the All Blacks, so John van der Merwe gives it inside. Or do they? Darcy Graham's off, but the whistle has gone. Scotland could have scored. They should have scored. They should have scored. But Stuart Hogg, what I said on Twitter, I said Stuart Hogg could have one of those Stuart Hogg days, and he just really is. You can't do anything wrong at the moment. I think that's a bit. I think that's a bit harsh. I think it does come backwards off him, and then he runs around it. So I think that's a bit of a harsh call, you know. So let's scrum. They do use it. Burton Barrett with pace. Well read by Finn Russell. Christie giving it to Scott Barrett. Antonio Brown just falling. But good breakdown work there. Finney Christie gave it to Burton Barrett, but not too much on. Burton Barrett does go to the boot. Duvan van der Merwe needs to be going underneath it. Very good take out the air from Duvan van der Merwe. He's been very good in this early stage of the second half here. Ali Price goes to Finn Russell. Finn Russell just hacks it downfield. Reed in now. Duvan van der Merwe. Got a space. Looks like he wants to run here. Comes away with one. Gets away from two. Eventually brought down by Papili. Now then to Ferguson. Finn Russell sees a bit of space there. It slows up. Caleb Clark is gathering. Goes a long pass out to Mark Tellier. He is brought down by Grant Gilchrist. The offload is off to Burton Barrett. Burton Barrett slips though. And then a knock on from Geordie Barrett. This is, I mean, when do we see a New Zealand side make those sort of errors? That is so uncharacteristic of a New Zealand side. And Geordie Barrett Burton Barrett rather, just slipping there, popping the ball up to Geordie Barrett, he then spills it forward. And the All Blacks, it must be said, have been poor. There's no other way to say it. They've been poor in this game. After a sensational first sort of 10 minutes, and when all of a sudden you're thinking, sure, but here we go, the All Blacks are back, they're going to absolutely hammer Scotland, they've just been really, really poor. See, I mean, Burton Barrett looking here, trips over his own feet, then tries to pop it up to his brother, and Geordie just spilling it forward. And all of a sudden, Scotland will have a scrum at the 22. They've got a reasonable amount of space down the right-hand side to work with. However, there is a new front row for New Zealand, so De Groot and Lualala do leave the field. Boa and Fletcher Newell are on. So, two fresh props here for the All Blacks, which will be a bit of a boost for them. But Scotland are sitting here thinking, if we can have a big scrum here, put the ball over the poles here from a penalty, all of a sudden it's a 9-point game. With the momentum, with 29 minutes to go. We'll have a reset, yeah. Right, Rico Wani getting ready on the side there. Be interesting to see where he comes on. If he comes on the centers, comes on the wing. And a penalty. And a penalty. Andy Price thought about putting it in there. They were pushing it before the ball get in. Coming straight through. Penalty for Scotland. Finn Russell will wait for his tee. And they'll have an opportunity to go 9 points clear. Well, this is now getting to the stage where I think if Scotland were to lose, they'd actually throw it away. Because they've got all the momentum here. They're the better side by a country mile. Here comes Rico Ioane. The question is, who does he come on for? Is it Anton Lennon-Brown? Is he going to the centres? I think it looks like it. I don't think he'll be going onto the wing here. But I think he's the best. Still don't really particularly rate him as an out centre. I think he's a world-class centre. World-class wing. Can play in centre if needs be, but I just don't feel like that's where he's at his best. Right, 100% of the King T so far. 3 from 3 from Finn Russell. Looking to make it 4 from 4. Yep, straight down the middle. Scotland 23, New Zealand 14. 9 points is the lead, yeah. Bit of a shorter kickoff there. They pop it into Andy Price. Andy Price used that left boot of his. Doesn't find touch though. Geordie Barrett looking inside to his brother. Pops it over the top, does Beauden Barrett. But Hogg is there, giving it. Oh no, Finn Russell's missed it. But he's done brilliantly to go and dive on it. Now a big ruck in the effort needed here from Scotland to get this ball back. I think it is available. Well, it's almost a horror moment there from Finn Russell, who's been so good this weekend. But looks like at this stage, they have gotten away with it. All right, Andy Price now. Does find touch this time. They do take quickly, though. Geordie Barrett. Runs into a couple of defenders here. And his forward pack is there to help him out, though. So, good work there from Geordie Barrett. Now, first carry of the day for Boa. Christie going to Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett looking for the cross kick. Caleb Clark's after this. Darcy Graham as well. Too far, too far. It comes forward off the hand and out, I think. So, was it out in the full is the question. Oh, it is, you know. So it should be a line back where Beauden Barrett kicked it. So it'll right be towards the halfway line. Sanders Ferguson getting a bit of attention here. I'll be saying if New Zealand lose, all Southern Hemisphere teams lose this weekend. Yeah, I think what we're seeing as well is the importance of home ground advantage because all the Southern Hemisphere sides, Australia, New Zealand, apart from New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, and Argentina all won their incoming series in the mid-year. But all of a sudden, on the Northern Hemisphere ones at the moment, it's been very, very dominated by the Northern Hemisphere sides. So South Africa 0 from 2, New Zealand 1 from 1 at this stage. If they lose this, they'll be 1 from 2. Australia 1 from 2, 1 from 3 actually. Good line there for Scotland. So there must have been a touch by Caleb Clark, which is why it is still by 22. But Andy Price hammers that away. And a penalty against New Zealand for collapsing as well. So things just not go in the way of the All Blacks. And you can see the look from Caleb Clark. Bit of worry, I think, creeping into this All Black side at the moment. They know they're under pressure. Ben Russell finds touch inside New Zealand territory. The territory game of 30.5 meters. Thanks to Sage, the data pass of the alternate series, giving us this very important information. Rugby saying Australia and New Zealand lost their home series to England and Ireland. Did England win it? Oh no, they did. You're right. Argentina. I actually forgot that England won that. Bloody Australia. They're so shit, aren't they? Phineas saying, "Come on, All Blacks. We can't have all Southern nations losing one weekend. The Northern, as far as I'm concerned, Scotland must go and win. I couldn't give a toss about this whole Southern nation, Northern Hemisphere. I actually don't understand it really. I don't know why there's this whole Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere like rivalry. I've got zero gripes with the Scots. I've got zero gripes with the Welsh. I've got a lot of gripes with the Australians, and I don't like that. And New Zealand's our biggest rival. So yeah, I'm not really partisan amongst hemispheres. I'm 100% in for Scotland. Yesterday, I was 100% in for Italy over Australia. Tupolatu, working hard there. Does get to his knees, so ball is available for Ali Price. Looking for a couple of runners, a couple of lazy runners there. Yeah, I forgot about Australia lost their series, but Australia's so shit. So I mean, I feel like it doesn't even count. It's very well taken by Caleb Clark. Returns the favour of his left boot. Finn Russell is backtracking. Inside ball to Stuart Hogg. These two... Oh, no, he's going himself as Stuart Hogg. He launches it downfield. And Burton Barrett does allow it to bounce. So retreating here. Allows the chasing line to get in there. Inside ball to Geordie Barrett. Geordie doesn't find touch. All right, Finn Russell, what's he going to do? Just drifting inside. Chip over the top there. And no chase line there because Finn Russell was taken out. So Burton Barrett will have a lot of time to take in touch. And Darcy Graham is not going to take quickly. So the net result is a line-out for Scotland inside the All Blacks. Obviously, Q-Com is not happy with the ref's calls. Shock and horror. Yeah, Oz is a tier 2 nation. Yeah, not a bad shout. VPN now. Not a spring chicken anymore these days, but still doing the business. A good Scots name. Well, Teacher Perrinard has been thrown on. It's a nice player to bring on, especially if you're having issues with the red call, because the man does second as a referee, moonlight as a referee on the weekends. A bit of a variation there from Scotland gone wrong. RCA pops it inside. So turnover ball, the All Blacks have got it inside in the inside Scotland territory. Burton Barrett goes to Avili. Sorry, so Anthony Brown going to Rico Awani. I think Avili's actually left the park, so it looks like Leonard Brown's inside centre. Rico Awani outside centre. Shows you how long it's been since the All Blacks have had the ball. Long ball out to Tellier. Tellier's got him around. Due for the mover. He's trying to bring him in, and he stepped into touch. So there were options on the inside, and the debutant couldn't find any of them. Good defense there. Due for the mover. Yeah, got on the outside. Ada says, I agree. I could not care less about the Warriors or All Blacks. I love it when they lose. Go Scotland. Yeah, I'm there. Hey, I'm there. Like I've got no loyalty to All Blacks whatsoever. I'm trying to think of a match where I would ever support the All Blacks. I think when the All Blacks take on like Australia, then I'm like, a draw is a nice result here. Like the All Blacks are our biggest rivals. Like, why would I support them against Scotland? Scotland's cool, works. Richard saying Barbarians just beat the New Zealand A team final score 35-35. Yeah, I just saw that. So this could be a disaster of a day for the All Blacks fans. Imagine that the All Blacks 15 lose to the Barbarians the same day that Scotland beat New Zealand. And if people are fetching us, yes, I know the Barbarians are a better side than Munster. But people are fetching us, eh? People are fetching us for losing to Munster, who actually, to fair, played it week in, week out. Whereas the Barbarians is just an invitational side that gets thrown together. Look, the quality of player for the Barbarians is tremendous. I'm very keen to watch the highlights of that game. I want to see how Dylan Late's Raymond Roulet went on. Good line up there by Jamie Ritchie. And they're told to use it, and they don't use it, and it will be turnover ball. So the first real big mistake that Scotland have made, almost in the second half, really. Right, scrum here. Big scrum needed as well from the All Blacks perspective. They've got 20 minutes left and they're chasing 9 points. Scotland have got to get out of this place and just go back to playing in the right areas of the field. It's the first reasonable amount of time that All Blacks have actually spent in the Scotland danger zone. So, no one said I would never support the All Blacks in any game. I'm happy when they're losing. I was how the heck they let someone go right through the middle of the maul. Yeah, it's pretty poor maul defense, isn't it? Right, this is a big opportunity here for the All Blacks. It's on the right-hand side. They've got most of the left to work with, but also I think they've got a one-on-one with Finn Russell. Well, two-on-one potentially. TJ Perinara, Mark Telly versus Finn Russell, and Duan van der Merwe if they go there quickly enough. There's an advantage, penalty advantage here for New Zealand, so they've got to figure out the dice. Beauden Barrett cross kick across to Caleb Clark. That's far too hard. I'll go back for the penalty though. I mean, it was the right option there from Barrett, just far too hard. Right, decision time here. Is Jordie Barrett going to take the 3 points? Yeah, I think he is, you know. Yeah, they are going to take the 3 points. Gets them within 6 points, which is a converted try. So, backing themselves to score here on New Zealand later on. But I think, with 90 minutes to go, not the worst idea. They haven't scored any points since the 8th minute. So, probably a good idea to take the points here and get back to it. But, and for the Scotland, I don't think this is the worst result. I think they'll be sitting there going, we'll take it. We'll take it. Right, 2 from 2 so far. Jordie Barrett off the tee. Yep, straight down the middle. He's a very good goal kicker from Jordie Barrett. This is one thing he does very well. So 6 points the margin with less than 20 minutes to go. Right, under the restart there. Leonard Brown as well. Spin away for tackle from Duan van der Merwe, but they have exited the 22, have New Zealand. Perinara lifts it high in the air. It will be contestable. Stuart Hogg's coming in. He comes forward of Stuart Hogg into the hands of Whitelock to Newell. Advantage over. And New Zealand find themselves back in Scotland territory. Dalton Papali'i. Hard in the tackle. Perinara going to Beauden Barrett. This was better from the All Blacks. Put the ball in hand here. Barrett going himself. Perinara going to the left to Beauden Barrett. Saw a bit of a gap there. Shannon Frizzell onto the park. Perinara to Jordie Barrett. It's a really good line break. Cody Taylor gets through onto the park. Oh, there's so many numbers. There's so many numbers. Scotland are reeling here. George Bower. They need something special here to Scotland. Under a lot of pressure defensively. That's a better hit. Perinara goes to Beauden Barrett. Comes back in the angle. Artie Severe. Ball goes to Mark Tellier. He's got a lot of work to do though. He's working hard. They're within 10 meters here. Cody Taylor. This is good footwork from New Zealand. Artie Severe. Pick up and go. Frizzell. Or the ball's come loose. Pops it up to Dalton Papali'i. He's going. He's almost there. Desperate defense here from Scotland. The ball's been turned over. Perrinar's pleading for a penalty. What's the decision here, though? What's the decision? I think we're actually going to go to the TMO here. I don't actually know what the decision is here. He just blew his whistle. Perrinar seems to think he's got a penalty for them knocking the ball out of his hand. I think the referee wants to have a look at this. Yeah, Finn Russell hits the arm. It then comes off the rear of Fletcher Newell. Jack Dempsey comes in the tackle there, which is where the knock-on comes originally after that. No, that's not a deliberate knockdown. Come on, Alex. He's going for the tackle. No, he's going for the tackle. There's definitely no deliberate knock-on there. I mean, the arm never goes towards the ball. He's just in the tackle motion. What? Yeah, pretty clear. I think that's very harsh. I'm not sure that's deliberate. You look at his eye line. Not so sure about that. Gregor Townsend, get yourself a Twitter account, chap. That feels harsh. I don't know. What are we saying? I feel like that's harsh. Well, that doesn't look good at all. Rory Sutherland, who's only gone for a few minutes, is being taken off on the stretcher. So it means that Piers Kuman will be back onto the park. Now, what are we feeling about that? I don't feel that's a yellow card. I feel like it's very harsh. Right, so Scotland down to 14 men. Gilchrist off, Gray is on, White is on for Price, Bennett on for Hogg. That's a huge course, take off Hogg. Why would you take off Hogg? And Schoolman back on for Sutherland. Yeah, I can't believe that's a yellow card. I think that's incredibly harsh. I think if you're going to give him a penalty, you can give a penalty, but a yellow card for that seems incredibly harsh. I think he's going through in the tackle. I don't think that's deliberate at all. RSVA breaks off the back, gives it up to... Are they short? Barrett is short. Now Frizzell, that's bloody wife beater. You can't score. Out of all the people, you can't score. Geordie Barrett, Scott Barrett, pick up and go. And he's over. You know, fuck it. You know, they've played so well, and then you go and give him a yellow card for that. Such bullshit. And there's always going to be New Zealand who are going to get a favourable yellow card, isn't it? It was desperate defence there. It was a good tackle initially on Geordie Barrett. Scott Barrett, yeah, it's poor defence than the last one. Oh, dear. So, New Zealand are ahead by 1. Scotland need to find a penalty inside New Zealand territory. Oh, dear. They're going to come up short. Right, deep restart. Hillier up against touchline. Takes it well. Gives it inside to Cody Taylor. Sorry, it's Anthony Brown, rather. Ball bounces. And it comes to Dalton Papali'i. I think there was a ball and touch there. Trying to work out where the knock-on, ball and touch, knock-on. It is be a shot and scrum. Right, 13 minutes to go. Scotland down to 14 for another 7 minutes. So when Dempsey does return, there'll be about 5 or 6 minutes left. Scotland, yeah, see, now this is the big thing. In the last 10 minutes, you see an 86% possession and 86% territory. They've had all the ball. They haven't had it for most of the game, but they've managed to get the ball. We'll have a reset here. Now, this would be a very interesting place for Scotland to win a penalty because it's probably right on the edge of Finn Russell's range, right up in the corner. It wouldn't be an easy kick at all. So a conversation between George Bauer and VIP and Nell. And Pierce Schumann having to do a big shift here because he was replaced, and then now Sutherland has left the park, so he's gonna have to put in a huge shift here as Pierce Schumann. But at a big moment in the game, they can win a scrum penalty here, Scotland. They do have the feed. And you get the ball out. Penalty to New Zealand. Oh, the tides change, eh? Vip and Rice smile, and all of a sudden Scotland very much on the back foot here. I mean, I don't know much about scrums, but I mean, George Boa is angled in before that even starts shoving. It works to Shannon Frizzell. Papali'i goes to Telia. Another good tackle by Finn Russell, who's been targeted in defense here, but he stood up to it. Now Perinara, Brown, Burton Barrett almost caught the ball by Finn Russell. Ari Severe, show and go. That characteristic dummy of his. Perinara going to Fletcher Newell. Pops up to George Boa. Bit of a fumble there from Rico Awani. Perinara to Boa. To Barrett. Cody Taylor, a little bit isolated, but I do manage to. Now Burton Barrett, not too much on. And the kick comes off to Stuart Hogg there. So they said the Stuart Hogg was off. I don't think Stuart Hogg. Why would you take Stuart Hogg off? Yeah, still on the park. So turnover ball, Jamie Ritchie. The captain driving it up now. White asking for a couple of blockers here. We'll look to the box kick here. It's a very nice clearance actually found there by White. Right, into the last 10 minutes here. Can Scotland find a penalty? Can they find a way back? Right, here comes Ashman on for Fraser Brown. So a new hooker for Scotland for the last 10 minutes. Remember that Scotland's still down to 4. Oh, shit, I suppose I should put my cards on. Where are my cards at? There it is. So Scotland with the yellow card. I think I've got to put the New Zealand one. I'm having a bit of a mare here, people. To be fair, forgive me. I did go to bed at 4 in the morning. Right, last 10 minutes. Come on, Scotland. Let's find something. Let's pull up a shock dub here. Marcus says, feels like complaining about the ref. It's a low form of analysis, but there's just such a big human error element in refereeing. 2 Irish tries have been disallowed last week, and Dion didn't yellow yesterday. Yeah, it's always going to be a big talking point. I think what doesn't help is the fact that the laws are very confusing at the moment. I don't think they're very clear. So I think that's not helping at all. I think if the laws were a little bit clearer and a little bit more consistently applied. And again, the fact that they're not consistently applied, again, sort of leans towards the fact that maybe they're not as clear and well sort of phrased and well crafted as they need to be. Because I think that's the issue. It's more sort of the maybe there's too much room for interpretation. I think it's the lack of consistency which is really making it difficult for people to get to understand. Bit of a mess around there, but still so front ball for Leonard Brown. Big hit on him from Suno Tupelotu. He's actually really punched up physically so far as Tupelotu this match. Now Ari Sevilla looking for himself, almost getting through the end there. Popping up to Rico Awani. Who's brought down by Tupelotu. Back inside Scotland territory. Pierce Schoolman comes up quickly, but Papali'i. A bit of a fumble there. Oh, it's turnover ball for Darcy Graham. Popping it up as well. To Ashman. Yeah, there's Scotland's Charles. Pierce Schoolman going to Finn Russell. Not too much on. For Finn Russell. Getting away from one. Getting away from another one. Looking for an offload. Very nice take as well. Now, Pierce Schoolman just needs to take a hit here. Does take a hit. Allows Scotland to sort of reshape. White going to Russell there. Leonard Brown was up fast there. And Scotland back inside their own half. Pierce Schoolman popping it up. That's a nice carry there. Now, Finn Russell. Not too much on. Tupelotu just... Now, Pierce Schoolman's gone straight through him, but backwards is the call. Not too much on, so Finn Russell just sort of pops it over the top. Geordie Barrett is going to return the favour. Stuart Hoggs, sorry, I think it's Darcy Graham underneath. Now Stuart Hoggs there. Stuart Hoggs is high in the air. Darcy Graham is chasing hard. Caleb Clark pops it inside to Bowden Barrett. Somebody needs to come out to make the tackle here. Bowden Barrett gives it up to Shannon Frizzell. Pairing out inside ball to Fletcher Newell. Well covered there. Yeah, Perinar trying to milk a penalty, which is definitely not a Perinar thing. And a penalty against New Zealand for not rolling. That's a big moment. That's a big moment. They needed a penalty. They needed not to concede a penalty. And I think that could be a big moment. I think that could be the moment the games are slipping away from Scotland. Right, so 90 seconds left on the yellow card. New Zealand up towards just outside 22. Right, Scotland have got to try and find turnover ball here. Still 7 minutes to go. A lot can happen in 7 minutes. But that one good take there. Actually, I think it's Shannon Frizzell, in which case I'm not going to give him a good take. Need to use this now. Not going anywhere here. Perinar does use it. Antonio Brown, it's a big hit on him. Perinar goes to Bowden Barrett. Gets away from one. Now going on the short side, Perinar to Frizzell. good continuity here. Ominous signs here for Scotland. Good carry there from George Bower. Perrin popping up to Artie Severe. And Scotland just trying to hang in here. But 10 phases now for New Zealand. They're looking very comfortable. Tellier over. That's it. That's it. Tellier's gone over. That's it. Scotland, you idiots. I do feel the yellow card was the turning point. Man out wide, overlap, one man overlap. I do think it was a harsh yellow card as well. And this very, and I'm going to say it, very average New Zealand side looks like they're going to get away with it because they've not been good today at all. I mean, that's just a one-man overlap. That's just the extra man. Right, so now it's a 6-point game. The crowd not impressed with the grounding there. Well, that's a bit of contention. Bit of controversy. Now, this is a big kick here because he misses this, a converted try. But that is a beautiful kick from Jordie Barrett. That is such an important moment. That is the game itself. That's the game there. Right, well, Scotland going to have to score a penalty and a try and convert it in, well, actually, just a try and a penalty will do it. That would be a draw. So, yeah, game over, unfortunately. Looks like it. They do go short. RSV is up to it. It's a good kick there, Finn Russell. Long pass inside to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg's going to have to go to the boot here. Or is he? No, he's not going to go to the boot. Needs to try and go coast to coast here. Well, they found themselves halfway towards the 10-meter line, so it's a good start so far. But they've got 3 minutes to go score a try, and they need to receive a restart. Finn Russell goes for the cross kick. And it's turned. Darcy Graham has kicked it ahead. Okay, Clark. The crowd saying that he's tripped. Jordie Barrett is, well, he's just pushing people over for fun now. Well, it's a bit difficult to say South Africa can learn a lot when South Africa had to close out a game with 14 men, with a one-man advantage, whilst New Zealand were playing against with a one-man advantage. Not quite the same, is it? We're talking about last night. Right, now Burden Barrett just up in the air down the middle of the park. Hogg getting away from Jordie. Inside to Darcy Graham. Bit isolated though. Perinari over the ball. And referee quick to give the decision to Perinari. He's such an annoying prick. He's such a pain in the ass. He's such a typical scrum off. Like, if you have to look at exactly like that annoying scrum off, Faf de Klerk does it very well. Sanana Humber is the master of it. And Perinari, but he's proper scummy scrum off the side. Right, last minute, Scotland, they came close. They came close. But couldn't get there in the end there. Do feel that yellow card is a big turning point. Good take there from Sam Whitelock. He is inevitable, isn't he? Absolutely inevitable. Kicking the head there, so no advantage to go back for it. 2 hands on the ground is the call. And I think where Scotland were getting the rub of the green in the first half, I think New Zealand are getting the rub of the green in the second half, yeah. Is that Stephen Perfito's on? He gets his like token 2 minutes a game. Taps it, puts it out. Well, the All Blacks breathe a sigh of relief, I reckon. I think Scotland very much should have won that game. Yellow card, a big turning point. And the All Blacks, well, you know, it's interesting because they're not playing well, but they're finding ways to win. And for Ian Foster, I think that's probably what he needs because, you know, he's somebody under a lot of pressure. So they are getting victories. The performance is definitely, I mean, if you look at a week ago and absolutely outclassed Wales. But today, Scotland were very much up for it. And up until the last 10 minutes, the last 15 minutes, looked like they were going to be able to do it. But New Zealand did hang in there. That penalty just sort of showed you the backing that they had in themselves. They took the 3 points. They went to the restart. They backed themselves to get that try. They did get the try. Fantastic kick on the side as well from Geordie Barrett to make sure that was going to be the end of the game. And Scotland's long wait for a New Zealand scalp will continue. Final score, 31 points to 23. Scotland not managing to do the job. Thank you very much, everybody. That brings a close to the weekend's watch-alongs. We will see you guys for the next watch-along on Thursday. We will be live tomorrow for the SAA announcement, which is tomorrow at about 2 o'clock. So we'll see you guys then. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll chat to you guys all very soon.